Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Strat Watch. So here we go, we're going to bring you up to date with all of the latest developments in terms of what's happening in the stratosphere at 10 and 30 HP over the Arctic and over the North Pole as well. We'll be looking at forecast data from the GFS and from the extended ECM as well for the next 6 weeks. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and I shall talk you through episode 3 of Strat Watch in a moment. Just say that first, video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast and can be live at 6 PM with our 10 to 14 days. So I shall see you a little bit later on for our Wednesday evening live stream. Please like, share, subscribe on all today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And just say we'll be looking again in detail at what's going on in the stratosphere as part of our final winter update. This coming Sunday. And then when the winter updates are out of the way, which is going to be very shortly now, we will be including stratospheric data within our 10 to 14 days as well. So this isn't replacing anything, it's in addition to. Right, okay, so let's start off with temperature at 10 HPA over North Pole versus average. This is from the JMA. So the black line here shows where temperatures have been, how temperatures have been performing, and where temperatures have been at 10 HPA over North Pole, and where we currently are versus the grey line, which is the long-term average. And you see we are actually a little bit below average with the temperature 10 HPA. It's a little bit colder than average in the stratosphere over the North Pole there. But it's not a particularly big deviation. We should be probably somewhere around minus 72, minus 73. Or we're actually somewhere about minus 75, minus 76. So not a big deviation, but we are slightly colder than average. Temperature 10 HPA. We go a little bit lower down to 30 HPA. But you can see it is more dramatically below average. Again, we're not seeing a plunge, so we're not down to minus 18 at this point, but we are probably down to about minus 76, minus 77, something like that. We should be getting somewhere around minus 73, minus 74 at 30 HPA. So it is a little bit of a bigger deviation, I think, at 30 HPA than it is at 10 HPA. So this is how the GFS is forecasting things over the next couple of weeks. So these blue colours, these are the cold temperatures, of course, at 10 HPA. It's like a depiction of the polar vortex at its roots in the stratosphere. You see over North Pole, we're somewhere into the mid minus 70s there. And over on our side of the pole, actually over on the Norwegian side of the pole, we're close to minus 18 in terms of temperature at 10 HPA. Well, over the next few days, we're going to keep those cold temperatures going over the North Pole. And actually, on our side of the pole, we get this area of minus 80 to minus 84. So, becoming very cold with the temperature at 10 HPA on our side of the pole. Over the pole itself, though, temperatures actually lift up a little bit and go back towards below minus 70. So, go back closer to average there. You can see that there is a bit of a warming starting to take place over Siberia when we get to 29th of November. But it's nowhere near a sudden stratospheric one, please don't get me wrong. That wouldn't even be classified as a minor warming, I don't think. But it is a slight warming of the stratosphere over Siberia at 10 HPA, and that's relatively unusual for this early in the season. Remember, that's only the 29th of November, so it's relatively unusual to get any kind of warming really over the North Pole and stratosphere at this time of the year. Right, so let's run further on then with the GFS run. And that warming actually intensifies a little bit over Siberia and starts to move into the Canadian side of the North Pole as well. Meanwhile, the cold temperatures continue over the North Pole, but we're sort of into the mid minus 6s there, minus 64, minus 68, something like that. So temperatures are lifting up, not as cold as they currently are over the North Pole, but again, we do still see those minus 80 temperatures on our side of the Arctic and the North Pole there. I'm going to a very extended range, and again, the warming is gathering pace there over Siberia, so that's how we finish up. That is really quite a significant warming of the stratosphere for this early in the season. That's only the 7th of December. We're already going up to minus 20 there over Siberia, and that warming is beginning to move towards Canada as well, towards the western side of Canada. So we are actually starting to displace the polar vortex a little bit, but the warming is becoming sufficient to be able to say, but we are getting a little bit of a displacement event taking place. So if the polar vortex as it's being displaced over onto our side of the Arctic and the North Pole, really, and over the pole itself, it looks like we're going up to probably about minus 56, something like that, so around minus 56 to minus 60, which on the temperature scale, if that comes off, it is very excellent range, remember, but if that was to come off, then that would actually be a little bit above average there as we get into the beginning of December. We'd be somewhere up here, I think, if that came off. Very long way off, but it is of note that already we are seeing signs of warming, not a sudden stratospheric warming, certainly not a major sudden stratospheric warming, but we are seeing signs of a warming of the stratosphere going on there over Siberia very, very early in the season, as I say, for that. And already I think we're seeing signs that the polar vortex is being put under a little bit of pressure from the warming of the stratosphere. And you wouldn't expect to be seeing this until later on in the season, really. So that's why it's of note. However, it does have to be said, but up to that point, up to December, the polar vortex, although a little bit displaced at its roots in the stratosphere, is still well and truly in business. And you know, there's certainly no sign of an SSW or a major SSW at this point. Let's have a look at the ECM weekly, shall we? So this would be week 1 temperature anomaly for 10 HPA over the North Pole. So this is for the week that we're in, with Monday 20th to Monday the 27th of November. You can see these pale blue colours there, so actually a little bit below average, already established over the North Pole itself at the moment at 10 HPA. As we go through to week 2, we keep the temperature a little bit below average there, but warming looks like it's developing, or slight warming developing over Scandinavia and also into northern Russia. That is the 27th of November, 4th of December. Week 3 produces a significant warming of the stratosphere. From Siberia into Canada. That's the 4th to the when's that? That's the 4th to the 11th of December. I assume that is part of this warming that the GFS is picking up here on the 7th of December. So the ECM is also seeing that. Remember, that's an anomaly to average. So on the temperature scale, that is going to about 10 degrees above average. But to get an SSW, you've got to go to about 50 degrees above average. So whilst that is quite a significant warming of the stratosphere that we're seeing there, we can't say if that's an SSW or not. And the GFS isn't producing it strong enough to be an SSW. So not a major SSW. This is week 4, which is the 11th to the 18th of December. Warming is maintained but eases a little bit over Siberia and also into Canada as well. That's week 5, 18th, 25th of December. Again, warmer than average, but not reaching the level of an SSW. That's about 6 to 8 degrees above average. And then finally, week 6 is 25th of December, 1st of January, so just New Year's Day. And warming maintained, but again, falling some way short of what would be classified as an SSW. So it looks like we are in for modest warming of the stratosphere during December, which will probably displace the polar vortex, produce displacement, then it's ample polar vortex under pressure, probably not seeing an SSW or a major SSW up to the end of December. But of course that is only a forecast from one particular model. Another way of looking at the polar vortex is through the zonal wind. So one way you do it is through the temperature, because those cold temperatures. The other way you look at the strength of the PV, though, is through the zonal wind. This is the forecast from the GWF for the next 6 weeks. Gets us to the new year. At the moment, the zonal wind is very strong, of course. We are going to see a weakening of zonal wind back closer to average. This red line is long-term average. So we are going to see a weakening of the polar vortex back closer to average as we go through first half of December. That almost certainly caused by those minor warming events. And we keep close to average, actually, as we go on to second half of December as well. This airline just here is all important. That's where we have the ensemble members forecasting an actual SSW or a major SSW with a reversal of zonal wings, and not many of them doing that. We've got this clear outlier member just here that's absolutely plummeting. So obviously that ensemble member is seeing a major SSW. This one as well, producing reversal of zonal wings. A few around here getting very close to a reversal of zonal wings, but most of the ensemble members, some ensemble plume members, are still just going for a weakening of zonal wings. These ones around here are seeing like a weakening of zonal wings as we go through December, but not enough to be classified as a major SSW with a reversal of zonal wings. Keep in mind, we also have these ensemble members up here, though, but are going for record-breaking strong zonal wings as we go through the middle part of December. So again, there's a lot of scatter there, a lot of uncertainty, and you'd expect that within any forecast data. The further out you go, the more uncertain it gets. And, you know, stratospheric data is no different. But it does look as though overall we're probably going to see a weakening of the PV as we go through December, and that caused by those slight warmings of the stratosphere, but we're seeing short of an SSW, definitely short of a major SSW, not enough to split the PV, not enough to reverse the PV, but enough to move the PV around, soften it up a little bit, maybe displace it a little bit, you know, and just generally put it under a bit of pressure so that when we get later on into the winter, maybe the PV will be primed for a significant SSW, a major event perhaps later on as we get into January, possibly February. Who knows? We'll keep you updated, of course. Right, that's it then for episode 3 of Strat Watch. If you've enjoyed this video, please you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. And we'll have another one for you next Wednesday. Keep in mind, we will be looking at the stratosphere again when we do winter update, the 13th and final winter update on Sunday. Well, we'll stop it there. I'll see you a little bit later on for our live stream. We're going to be live streaming at 10 to 14 to have. That'll be at 6 PM. But for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.